course completion by design. Building modules that fight off refunds and drop-offs. Students who finish don't ask for refunds. Here's how to design lessons, checkpoints, and nudges that keep them watching to the end. Most creators treat refunds as a pricing problem or a marketing problem. Lower the price, tighten the sales page copy, add a testimonial wall. But if you pull the actual refund requests on any course and read them, a pattern jumps out. The people asking for their money back almost never finished Module 1. Refunds aren't a sales problem. They're a completion problem. And completion is something you can design for the same way you design a curriculum outline or a checkout page. Why finishers don't ask for refunds? Think about the psychology for a second. A student who watched lesson 1 of 14 and stopped has almost no sunk cost in the material. Bailing feels free. A student who's 60% through has invested hours, taken notes, maybe posted a win in a community. Asking for a refund at that point feels like throwing away their own progress, not just your product. That's the entire game. Get people far enough in that quitting costs them something, not just you. Most refund policies are built around a time window. 7 days, 14 days, 30 days. Very few creators build around a progress window instead, even though progress is the thing that actually predicts whether someone stays. If you only look at one lever this quarter, look at what happens in the first 3 lessons. That's where you win or lose the whole course. The 20% cliff. Across course platforms, drop-off data consistently shows the steepest fall between lesson 1 and lesson 3. Often 30 to 40% of total attrition happens before a student is even a fifth of the way through. Fix that stretch and everything downstream gets easier. Lesson pacing. The 7-12-minute rule. Long lessons feel generous when you're recording them and feel like homework when someone's trying to watch one on a lunch break. If your average lesson runs past 15 to 18 minutes, split it. A 45-minute deep dive on email list building should probably be 3 lessons. List magnets, opt-in placement, and welcome sequences. Each one finishable in a single sitting with a clear, nameable outcome. Aim for 7 to 12 minutes per lesson for concept and demo content. Shorter for pure mindset or motivation lessons. Open every lesson with the one sentence a student should be able to say when it's done. I can now write a subject line that gets opened. End every lesson with a tiny concrete action. Not reflect on this, but write one subject line and save it. Batch related short lessons into named subsections so the course still feels substantial, not chopped up. This isn't about making the course thinner. It's about making progress visible in smaller, more frequent wins. A 40-lesson course that feels like 40 tiny victories beats a 10-lesson course that feels like 10 assignments. Progress checkpoints that create momentum. A flat list of video links gives a student nothing to hold on to. A percent complete bar, a 3 of 5 modules done counter, or a simple checklist a student can tick off as they go turns the same content into a game with visible stakes. This is one of the cheapest, highest leverage changes you can make to an existing course, because it costs you 0 new content, just structure. Every module has a named milestone. Module 2 complete. Your first offer is written, instead of just a number. Students can see percent complete or a checklist somewhere near the top of the course page, not buried at the bottom. There's a checkpoint task at the end of each module that produces something concrete. A document, a screenshot, a draft. The hardest, most abstract lesson isn't lesson 1. Save it for after a student has a couple of quick wins banked. There's a clear "what's next" pointer at the end of every lesson so nobody has to guess where to click. A checklist a student can tick is worth more than a video a student can skip. The mid-course nudge email. Here's the tactic most creators skip entirely. A single, scheduled email that goes out to anyone who bought the course but hasn't opened a lesson in 5-7 days. Not a sales email, a nudge. Short, warm, specific. Hey, Noticed you haven't gotten to Module 2 yet? Here's the 90-second version of what it covers and the direct link back in. This one email, sent at the right moment, will pull a real chunk of stalled students back in before they've mentally written the course off. You can build this with store.fan's broadcast and campaign tools without any extra software. Pull your customer list for that product, filter mentally or by purchase date for anyone in the store window, and send a short, personal feeling nudge. Pair it with a discount code reminder for a companion product if you have one, but keep the nudge itself about progress, not upsell. That's what makes it feel helpful instead of promotional. Where this connects to your storefront. None of this works if the buying and delivery experience is clunky, because a confused student stalls before lesson 1 even loads. When someone buys through your storefront, they should land on their content instantly. No separate login to remember. No check your email in 24 hours. That instant, automatic delivery is the foundation completion by design sits on top of. If you haven't yet, it's worth reviewing how your course is packaged and delivered before you touch pacing or checkpoints at all. If you want to see the whole flow end to end, a live example store shows how a course product looks from cover to checkout. It's also worth checking your numbers against a real distribution instead of guessing. Pull your last 90 days of course customers, note where each refund request happened in the curriculum, and you'll usually find 70–80% of them stalled in the same 1 or 2 lessons. Fix those specific lessons first. Don't rebuild the whole course on a hunch. FAQ. Refund prevention isn't a policy you write once and forget. It's a design decision you make in every lesson, every module boundary, and every quiet week when a student's momentum starts to slip. Get the pacing, the checkpoints, and the nudge right, and you'll spend less time writing refund emails and more time reading 5-star reviews. For more tactics like this, keep browsing the blog. And if you're still selling your course through a patchwork of tools, it's worth seeing what a single storefront on store.fan looks like end to end. Key takeaways. Refund requests cluster around students who stalled in the first 20% of a course, not students who disliked the content. Lesson length and pacing shape completion more than production value does. 7 to 12 minutes per lesson is the sweet spot for most topics. Visible progress checkpoints, percent complete, unlocked badges, a running streak, create momentum that a plain video list never will. A single, well-timed mid-course nudge email recovers a meaningful slice of stalled students before they hit the refund window. Every one of these tactics is buildable with tools you already have once you sign up. Create your store. No separate LMS subscription required. Start your creator store free at store.fan.